like how many times I'd heard that. Is everyone still there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times I'd heard it, but never really heard it, never grokked it. So, Terry, you've frozen.
Now there really is no movement.
No.
You know what? Yesterday I was driving for more than an hour and I did what Terry said. He said, uh, just try to see if you are moving. And actually, I wasn't able to say if I was moving or if everything around me was moving.
Mm.
I couldn't be sure about that. There was no way I would know.
Yeah.
And that was, I was like, maybe it's just everything around me that is just moving, seemingly moving. And I came to the conclusion I didn't know.
Didn't know. Yeah.
And I still don't.
Mm.
Do you know, it's there are no conclusions. I think that's the thing that
Yeah,
that
but
I yeah, but
yeah,
just
when you're trying to understand what duality is,
yeah.
in a way, there are conclusions, but it's dual. But yeah, it's useful sometimes to use the mind to try to understand what it creates. And that's what I tried to do yesterday. I was like,
Mm.
the mind is creating movement, but actually it's not true what it says, because the
Yeah.
mind says I am moving in a landscape, but actually if I'm wondering if it's not the landscape that is moving, I have no proof that it
Yeah.
isn't. You see,
I've
you
had
know
it
what I mean.
I've had it with rain on the windscreen. So driving along on a motorway and the rain's hitting the windscreen really hard. And whilst I'm watching and been totally relaxed, kind of looking, it's then suddenly felt like I was going backwards. And
Oh yeah,
there's a part of me is really starting to struggle. It's like I know I'm going forward because everything's telling me I am, but the feeling, the sensation, and what I'm seeing suggests that I'm actually going backwards. And then there was a moment where it felt like the rain was coming off the windscreen instead of hitting the windscreen. I don't know if anyone's
yeah.
had that. That was just, yeah. There's no way of explaining how that happened. Yeah, I'd like to know, but there's no way of explaining it.
No.
Change of perspective.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Because maybe your reference just changed.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
ref stopped being me seeing, or that's
This
it
body.
yeah, that
Mm.
stopped, and then it's hard to say where seeing was happening from.
I
Yeah.
also got to know an aspect of the mind today, which I was not really aware of, but the thing that it's very outcome orientated.
Mm.
And then I realized, okay, do I really need an outcome? So
Mm.
it was really a nice process to see how this
There,
apparent character of mine is striving for something, but in the end, it's just the mind that wants to get some conclusions,
Mm.
yeah,
or as Julie said,
that's true. That's true. It's just the mind wanting to get things all the time from the external. And that's how it is. That's how the mind is functioning. But it's okay. It's
mm.
Mm.
just not what we are. But yeah, it wants, oh, it's always seeking for uh contentment from the outside. Oh,
Mhm.
like, it's always doing that. It's crazy all the time.
Have you experienced it where it isn't doing that, where you kind of sit and then all of a sudden just sitting it becomes really deeply interesting. So all of a sudden you're not looking at the objects, so-called objects in front. It's like you're almost listening and looking at the space in between objects. I've had that for like months at a time where I just sit down and then suddenly it's like, oh, and I just realized that that's more interesting than everything else. That whatever that, well, it's the me, not the me, but it's the, it's the whole conscious process that suddenly becomes more interesting than the things appearing in consciousness. You have that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started like before this morning, like an hour ago or something. I was just like, because in my life circumstances, things are not easy right now, but everybody goes through that. But yesterday, and there were triggering things to the mind, and but this has been happening for a long time. I mean, for forever, like everybody. But now this morning, I was able to just sit there, and I saw that there were thoughts trying to catch my attention, what I am, the awareness, and mind was trying to, I'm not saying mind is trying to do something, because it cannot